What is up? What is up? Dude, I got to tell you, Otis, the shop dog, is over here and he's pissed because he hasn't been at the shop in like 3 days. So he's just like up in my business trying to like get me to not do this whole thing. And
Otis, my man.
dude, I have a feeling at some point he's going to be getting something from in the house that is not supposed to be his and just carrying it around to be a pain in the butt. So yeah, it ought to be interesting. It ought to be interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Jet Black in the house, Barnalicious, of course, and Neil Sabo. Everybody else that's joining, if you are watching on Facebook, or whether it's my Facebook, Bangshift's Facebook, or the YouTube channel, remember, if you comment or engage in the chat on YouTube, we do see it. And so we will answer questions based on what is in the chat. So I have Aaron Spitzer, my regular partner in crime here for Triple B in the house with a great backdrop. Look at that sexiness. Your wife did that, didn't she?
She did. She did.
Yeah, it looks lovely, though. It looks lovely. And then Cody Pollage right here next to me. Cody is the crazy guy who convinced me that we should just do a drag and drive with 7 weeks of notice. I mean, it didn't take a lot of convincing, but I will tell you that, we visited State Capitol Raceway earlier this year for race week. And Cody runs the racetrack there and did a great job for us at that event. And we had a lot of fun there. And so I've been back to the racetrack again to do a live stream with Cody. Cody puts on several big money bracket races every year. And he said, Chad, what do you think? What do you think about putting on a drag and drive here? And I was like, oh my God, don't even get me started. Because I've been wanting to do it for a long time, been working on some stuff. And Cody brought it up, and here we are. So Cody, thank you. I think maybe, I don't know yet.
I don't know if it's a thank you or not, but hey, we're doing it.
We are doing it for sure.
It's too late to back out now.
I know, we already told people, right? Well, everybody, we do appreciate it for sure for you guys tuning in. We've got a bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. About the event and about drag and drive in general. We didn't use this as our tagline on the event, but this is really like drag and drive for the people. Okay. You guys know that I'm involved in a ton of drag and drive stuff and I love it. And I've been involved, since the hit, but this is one of those deals where this event is going to be about having fun. We're going to have great competition. We're going to have some awesome cars. But at the same time, we want this thing to be a fun event for everybody. After all, Matt Frost and I were talking this morning. He said something that was pretty poignant, which is, an unlimited guy pays the same amount for his entry as a guy that's running a 13.0 car, And Cody, you said earlier tonight, like, we want everybody to understand that if you have a car that runs, 6s in the quarter mile or 17s, we've got a place for you and a place where you can be competitive. That's the big deal too. So we've made a couple of changes on classes in order to just make it a little easier on competitors. And I think it's going to be really fun. So before we get into details, other than, I want to go on the date first. So it is February 28th to March 2nd of this year. We're talking about 6 weeks and some change from now. So you guys, it is coming up quick. If you are somebody that's trying to compete in Sick Week and you're registered, but your junk isn't going to be ready, will be your fallback. If you didn't get into Sick Week, then definitely sign up with us. If you're going to Rocky Mountain Race Week or to Race Week, all part of Mega Week, this is a great shakedown event for you guys. If you've never done a drag and drive before, if you've never been down a drag strip before, come join us. We will help you. We will make sure you have fun. And there will be plenty of people to give you all the assistance and advice you need. And if you are a veteran of drag and drives, then you're going to love this thing. We're going to have a good time. We're going to We're going to do a drive every day. We're going to race every day. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're going to thrash on stuff on the side of the road. All the things that make up a drag and drive. We will be doing a live stream from the drag and drive as well. Again, the event's called the Louisiana Drag and Drive Hot Lap Challenge. Neil Sabo will be in the house helping out with the live stream, which is going to be awesome. You guys know he does the live streams with me on, Rocky Mountain Race Week and Streetcar Super Nationals and all those things. So it's gonna be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to it, and I know you guys will too. And so we're gonna go over some of the questions that we already have had pushed out to us as far as what the event format is going to be and all of those things. If you are on the Bang Shift Facebook page or my personal Facebook page, there are links there, obviously, to get to the website. There are posts with the logo for the event, so you can click right on there and go to the page that's going to have all of our rules and all of that stuff on there. And then we're going to add information from tonight on there as well. So as you guys ask questions, those questions, I will post the answers and those questions up on the website so that other people can get, some help from that as well. So again, that's going to go on February 28th to March 2nd. It is a 3-day event. Again, 3 drives and 3 races. The schedule is also going to allow for folks to come on Thursday. So on Thursday afternoon and evening, you'll be able to show up Thursday evening at the racetrack, and we can do tech for you early to get you all ready for Friday morning. If you can't be there on Thursday evening, then we will make sure that that we're there early enough, obviously, on Friday to do tech for you guys as well. So either one, you'll be able to do it. Cody, you had somebody that asked on your Facebook or the track's Facebook page whether or not, if they had to work Friday, whether they could come and compete for the rest of the weekend and whether they could win or not. Yes, you can compete. No, you cannot win. So you have to, if you don't turn in a time slip, it's a 20-second time slip. Automatically, if you have issues or you can't make the call or whatever, it's a 20-second time slip, which means you're going to be out of competition. So it's no worry. But if you still want to come and do the cruise with us and all those things, you can. And we're going to be racing on Friday. We're finalizing the schedule, but tentatively, we're talking about running from 10 until about 4:30 in the afternoon. And if we run until 4:30 in the afternoon, even if you didn't get there until 1 or something, you're going to get runs in. Like, we'll make sure you get runs. So if you couldn't be there first thing Friday morning, we could help you out with that. But if you are going to show up late, we're going to have to tech you and do all those things. So in order to help us out with that, we're going to want you to step up and help us by doing video tech on your car. And I'll explain that in a little bit. So anything that you want to add right now, Cody, or any questions that you want to put that are ones people already asked of you today?
No, I'm gonna let you take it, Chad. I do have a list of questions over here.
Okay.
There is some stuff I want to go as far as scheduling because, we do have a bonus event for this race.
Correct. Yes, and that's a big deal.
There is a reason why we're only running to 4:30 on Friday, which may help some people in the long run.
Yes.
Now I'll let you take it from here. You go ahead, hit your key points.
Okay, good. And then we're going to talk about, if you see the bottom of that logo, the one that's up on the corner over, Cody's shoulder, and the one that's on the Facebook page, you notice that it has the Bottom Bowl Bash also on there, and that's the bonus event he's talking about. So we'll touch on that here in a little bit. But so if you're new and you have not done a drag and drive ever, the format of this is pretty simple. So you show up at a racetrack, and in this case, we're doing all 3 days at the same racetrack to make it more convenient for people. You show up at the racetrack. We're going to do a tech inspection on your car. We're going to inspect your car for street equipment, which is going to require you to have headlights, taillights, turn signal lights, etc. Right? Brake lights. Okay, those are all requirements that every car has to have. So every car has to have working headlights, taillights, brake lights, turn signals. I'm going to just go through like the format rules for everybody. Aaron is like, no, I don't have turn signals. I don't.
Turn signals are not required by law.
They are not required by law.
You can do hand signals.
Correct. And if you don't have turn signals on your car, you need to hit me up specifically so we could test you on that. But yes, you are correct, Aaron. You are correct. So you're going to show up. We're going to do the street tech, right? Which is that stuff. You are also, as part of street tech, going to be required after you complete tech. You are going to be required to show your valid, this is key, valid current driver's license, current registration on the car you're driving, and current insurance for that car. Okay. Those are all requirements to finish your tech and check in and get your t-shirts and your stickers and all those things. Okay. Then you will do what I'm going to call track tech, which is, this racetrack's a WDRA track. It doesn't matter if it was IHRA or NHRA or WDRA. Same deal applies. We're going to tech your car for the ET that it is predicted to run, right? And so if your car has an 850 cage in it and an 850 cert and you have all the things for that, great, as long as you're running 850 and slower, right? And if you are a door car with no roll bar in it or anything, you can run 1150 or slower, right? There's all kinds of stuff, unless you're in a modern car, a late model car. The rules allow you to go considerably quicker in a late model car because of all the safety equipment that's in it. So I'll put that on the page too, so you can have the specifics, because it kind of depends on the year of the vehicle and what modifications are done to it. All that part's going to be easy. Okay. Everybody needs to have a helmet and appropriate safety gear. I will tell you that I don't have this in a written rule, but I may add it because it's one of my absolute pet peeves at the drag strip. We do not want you to be wearing track pants or sweatpants or pajama pants or anything like that, lounge pants, etc., while driving a car on the racetrack. I don't care what you do going down the highway, but because that's on you, but on the racetrack, we want you to be wearing at least jeans or, real pants. I would prefer SFI stuff. And if it's required for your ET, then yes, you must have that. But everybody should be wearing, wear appropriate stuff. Like, we spend our childhood trying to dress up like race car drivers, and then we become race car drivers and we don't want to dress like race car drivers anymore. And it's annoying. So let's not do that. But Wickham says, I always give hand signals when driving, not so much hand, but mostly finger. I like that. That's good. Yes, that is pretty much Wickham for sure. It explains why he has flipped cars over so many times, only one hand on the wheel or whatever. So you're going to go through both of those techs, and then we're going to send you back to your pit, where you are going to put on your sponsor decals, your windshield banner, all those things, and then wait for the driver's meeting. And we're going to have a driver's meeting. Now, when I say go back to your pits, here's one thing that is different than some of the other drag and drives that you may be familiar with, although this is coming to a couple others that you know and love. We are not going to require people at the beginning of the day on day one. We are not going to require you to park your truck and trailer somewhere and leave it in storage so that you have no access to it. This event, because of the fact that it's 3 days at one racetrack, means that you don't have to haul your luggage anyway. You're staying at one hotel, right? There's not any really great reason to keep you from your, from your trailer and what have you. Now, if you think that you're going to bring 6 spare engines and a bunch of other stuff, that I might have a problem with. Okay. So let's not like push the limit here. But if you have an enclosed trailer that you've hauled your car with, you'll be able to pit behind it. You'll be able to sleep in it at night if you want to stay in it, because camping is okay at the racetrack. There are also RV specific spots at the racetrack that you can talk to Cody about making a reservation for one. So we are going to allow you to pit out of your tow rig. Okay, so that's going to be part of it at this event. Anybody that thinks that makes it not hardcore enough, hit me up. Sure, you can chew my ear off. I don't care. It's no big deal. So after you do that, you get all your stickers on. We go to do the driver's meeting. We're going to talk about staging lanes. Cody and I just talked about it today. The racetrack has 10/11 staging lanes. We at this point we have 8 classes, and we are going to make an effort, depending on the number of cars in each class, to keep you guys in the same lane or lanes all 3 days, so that you know that when we call small block or small tire power adder, that you're lane 3 or 4 or whatever it is, right? And just to make it a little easier for you guys. So Mike Finnegan in the house. What is up? Giving Aaron a no.
Hey, Aaron.
So that part of it gets you all ready to go. We'll give you, 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever, and then we will open the lanes and we will start calling you guys to the lanes. So on Friday, we are going to run for a couple of hours, and then we're going to start pulling in our bracket race crew. No, I thought we were doing. Oh, sorry, that's Saturday. I'm so confused. So Friday, you're gonna be the only ones on the racetrack. So Friday we'll start running. We are gonna just rotate through the classes, okay, all day long till we get to the cutoff period. When we get to the cutoff, then we're going to we'll be done for the day. You will have gotten however many runs we can get you, and then you'll turn in your time slip, and we'll send you out on the cruise. Now, if you make 1 or 2 hits and you're happy with your run and you don't want to make any more runs, you can turn in your time slip to the girls. They will give you a receipt of your time slip. They will check your, all of your information to make sure that you have done all your registration correctly. And then they will give you the route for the first drive. And you will take off and go on the drive whenever you want. We don't care when you do the cruise. There is no cutoff time for the night. No, none of that. All that matters is that you take your pictures at your checkpoints that are going to be on the route. And then on Saturday, when you're done racing and ready to leave for the afternoon/evening, that you have to turn in your time slip and show your photos from the checkpoints. At that point, when you've done that and they register you in, they'll give you the next day's route so that you have Saturday's route, and off you go. Now, the one difference is that on Saturday, they're actually going to give you 2 routes. They're going to give you Saturday's route, Saturday evening's route, and Sunday morning's route, because our 3rd drive is happening Sunday morning. And when they give you that, here's the deal. That route is a circle, quote unquote, right? From the racetrack back to the racetrack each day. So if you leave from the racetrack and do that loop on Saturday night, and you decide that you want to do the second route on Saturday night instead of Sunday morning, knock yourself out. You will then leave again, do the second route, and you will turn both drives worth of photos in on Sunday when you hand in your final time slip. So that makes it a little weird compared to normal, but it'll be super simple. Everybody will get it. It'll be easy to go. So,
wait.
Rodney Reeves is asking a good question. He says, "Are the routes already decided? And if so, how long are the trips?" The routes are not set in stone yet, but my goal is for the routes to be somewhere between 100 and 150 miles or so. And so we'll work on that. Aaron?
So you said they can do both drives on Saturday. Does that mean you'll have somebody at the track for them to check back in on Saturday and then check back in again after they do the Sunday route Saturday night?
So if they decide to do both, all right, they will have to do well, I shouldn't say that. When they return to the racetrack, they will have to take another photo at the racetrack. The racetrack will be a checkpoint, quote unquote, so that we have the timestamp and everything of when they got back, right? So that
Okay.
that shows that they got back before they went on the rest of the drive. Yep, that's a really good question. This is not going to be this is not going to be like Rocky Mountain Race Week where we do 400 plus miles a day. Again, this is drag and drive for the people. We want this to be first timers, people shaking down new rides, people looking for a little bit more relaxing time to get themselves ready for the big long week long events. So we're going to make the routes a little bit shorter. There's lots of beautiful countryside out there. Louisiana's cool. And don't forget, this thing ends on Sunday the 2nd, which is 2 days before Mardi Gras starts. So all of Louisiana is going to already have Mardi Gras fever. It's already going to be in the mood. It's already going to be cool. There's going to be some neat stuff. You guys are going to have the opportunity to go on the cruise and go stop and eat in some cool places and stuff, especially Saturday night's cruise. You're going to have the opportunity to go somewhere really cool. So yeah, just trust me, they're going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. We did not name this the Louisiana Drag and Drive Hot Lap Challenge on accident. The Hot Lap Challenge, part of it will be for no matter where we do this event. I mean, we want this event to keep going year after year, but if we decided that we were going to do one in, Georgia, we'd have the Georgia Drag and Drive Hot Lap Challenge as well, right? But we are purposefully making the theme of this thing is Louisiana. We want you to have fun. In fact, Cody and I were talking about a thing that we're not talking about. Like, we're not telling you about some cool stuff from this until you get there. But we were talking about one thing today and actually making sure it was from Louisiana. Like, that's how on point we're trying to be with this, right? So it should be pretty cool. So again, gonna race in the morning, drive in the afternoon, race in the morning, drive in the afternoon, drive in the morning, race in the afternoon, and that's gonna finish our 3 days. So the classes, that has been like the biggest question that I had overall is what classes are you gonna have? So we've simplified this. If you've been on Rocky Mountain Race Week, not in the last couple of years, but like 7 years ago, you know that there were a very limited number of classes. We're in the middle. So we have 2 small tire classes, small tire NA and small tire power adder. So we have both of those. A small tire for the purpose of this event is considered a 28-10-5 non-W tire or a 275 radial. Anything bigger than either of those, period, puts you not in small tire. Okay. I know that in some areas of the country, you guys are wrong and think a 29-10-50 is a small tire, but it's not in Chad's world. And so that's not how it's going to be. So 28-10-50 non-W or 275 radial or smaller is a small tire car, and that's NA and power adders. There is only one rule for each of them besides the tire size. Okay. Or I'm sorry, 2 rules. In NA, no power adders are allowed. In NA and in power adder, you must have a dash. Doesn't need to be the stock dash, just needs to be a dash. It has to have interior door panels. They don't need to be stock door panels. They just need to be door panels. And carpet. If you have a truck or something that came with a rubber floor, like I have old cars that came with a rubber floor instead, that's okay. Like, just make sure I know and you're good on that. The point is no gutted out race cars that have nothing in them. I'm not worried about the back seat. If you have a car that's got no back seat in it, as long as it looks, finished. I mean, if you have a 70 Camaro and you don't have a back seat in it, man, get a piece of carpet and put over it. Try and make it a little nicer than just having the seat out, but you don't have to have a back seat. Small tire power adder. Any power adder is allowed. Again, must have dash, interior door panels, carpet, no gutted out race cars, and a 28-10-50 non-W tire. Big tire now aspirated is any tire that is a 28-10-50 W or larger, or a 295 radial or larger. That is the definition of big tire at this event. For NA, you can have no power adders, and again, you have to have all the same dash, door panels, carpet. Big tire power adder, again, any power adder, 28-10-50 W or 295 radial or larger, and you're good to go. Those classes are all going to be based, just like normal drag and drive, on your average ET for the week. So we take day number 1 and you turn in your time slip. Let's say Aaron, in the cocaine Camaro runs 798, right? And he comes in, he turns in a 798. On day 2, he turns in an 80. His average from those 2 days will be a 799, right? Then on day 3, we will add the day 3 to it and do an average of all 3. We do not average the averages and then it's all 3 get averaged. So that's standard drag and drive. Whoever has the lowest average in each class will win for all 4 of those classes. The same rules apply to unlimited as far as how we pick a winner. We are going to have an unlimited class. I'm not at all expecting for us to have many unlimited cars. I'm just not expecting heavy hitters to be showing up for this. But if they do, we have a class for them, and it's unlimited. So I don't care. As long as it's a door car, bring it. Literally, there's no weight rules. There's no nothing. If it passes tech and it has doors, it's fine. So our next 3 classes, our final 3 classes, are going to be set up a little bit different, and I'm excited about this. So instead of having the index classes that a lot of events have a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-0, and 14-0. I love those classes, and I love the people that race in those classes. However, as a guy who owns a car that won't run an O, right? Like, I can't get it quick enough to be an O, and slowing it down a half second is hard. Those classes aren't for me. I want something I can do where my car just runs. So if you have a car that runs 9 seconds or slower in the quarter mile, then you can enter what we are calling the Time Bandit class. And the Time Bandit class is a class where you are going to set your own index with your day 1 time slip. So the way that's going to work is that you're going to, on day 1, again, let's use Aaron. No, we'll use Cody as the example this time. So let's say Cody shows up in his truck and he runs 12:10 in the quarter on day 1. That's his best lap. He thinks that's the one he wants to turn in. So he turns in his 12:10. His 12:10 is now his goal for the next 2 days. So if on day 2, Cody runs a 12:20, right? Then we go, okay, we take his time slip and rewrite down that it's a 12:20. And on day 3, if he ran a 12:15, right? Then we take actually, to make the math easier on me, I'm going to say another 12:20, right? Then his average is going to be 12:15, right? So he's only 5 thou off of his day 1 time slip. That
500.
500.
Yeah, not 5 thou, 500. So we're gonna give the winner based on the spread, right? So we're going to take your day one is going to set your index, in this case 1210. Then we're going to take your average of the 3 days, just like we would in the other classes. And whatever the difference is between that and your 1210 is going to be how you stack up against everybody else. And the beauty of that is a 13-second car could beat a 9-second car, and vice versa. Like, it's all about being consistent. And so, yeah, so that's the one for you, Scotty Palmer. Scotty Palmer in the house. Dude, if you, it only has to have doors, dude. I don't care if you put doors in the dragster, you can bring it, dude. Bring it. Has Scotty ever been to your racetrack, Cody?
No, we were supposed to do it last year for Funny Car Chaos, and I won't tell that story because it's not mine to tell.
Well,
Scott was not unable to make it to Funny Car Chaos. He may have been here back in the old IHRA Nitro Jam days.
yeah, dude, you should come on out, Scotty.
Bring the blender.
It was when he crashed the Zilla. That's right. Well, dude, Scotty. No, I was gonna say to bring the Nitro Coupe, but we need to keep the racetrack really clean. And I love you, Scotty. You know I do, but
I'm fine with Scotty bringing the blender.
Bring the blender.
The blender, dude. If you bring the blender, Scotty, I'll give you a place to stay. Yeah. So Doug DeLay is asking non-drag radial or slick tire class, as in a hard tire class, just a street tire class. You can run a hard tire in Time Bandit class. Again, that's your set your own index by your first day time slip. You can run a hard tire in that class. We will just make you run out of the groove, and you won't need to worry about that because we're going to put a cone in that you have to be to the outside of, and you'll be totally fine. So yes, hard tire is okay. And if you want to come out in that hard tire, car, we will let you run that for sure. Yeah.
Before you go on the tailgate, because that's our next class. So, like the other cool deal about Time Bandit, other than we don't have second split up differences, like you said, you got a 1350 car and you can't do either.
Right.
The other cool deal about it is now with Time Bandit, it doesn't matter how slow you are. If you have a 1968 Ford pickup truck that won't go down there, but an 1850, bring it.
Bring it. Seriously, it doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. If you have a vehicle that you want to come and do this with, come on. And we're going to talk about another opportunity for you if you just want to come have fun as well when we get done with the classes. But yes, there is no performance requirement other than that you need to be slower than 9 seconds to compete in that class. If you're quicker than 9 seconds, we have other classes for you, right? You're going to be in small tire, big tire, unlimited, or truck. So I say truck. It's tailgate class, and Aaron's going to be mad at me. It's tailgate class, and I'm letting long roofs in.
Why?
So I know. Because it's also set up with the same index, so it doesn't matter. Like a guy with a Fairmont wagon doesn't have a big advantage, right? So tailgate class is going to be exactly like Time Bandit, except it's for anything with a tailgate. So if it is a tailgate, drop down tailgate, right, then you can enter, which means that no, you cannot come in some Fairmont style wagons because they have a hatch. Not a hatch, got to be a tailgate. Okay. So we can review that if somebody has a really good argument as to why, but I doubt it. So unless it's an SUV, if it's an SUV, then I can live with a lift gate. But again, that's going to be the same way. You're going to set your own index based on your day one ET time slip. So and keep in mind, this is an important deal too. If you made 4 runs on day one, and your car ran or your truck runs 12:10, 12:12, 12:13, and then 11:99, I wouldn't turn in the $11.99. Okay. Like, you don't have to turn in your quickest, turn in the one you want, and think about that, right? Like, if that bastard is dead on that number, like, just run it there. Okay. And if you are not allowed to turn in a time slip that is quicker than your index, okay, so you cannot turn one in quicker. But if you run a quicker one and then you go, crap, it's too quick, well, it's fine. You'll get another lap. You'll get another pass. It'll be fine. You'll get there. Okay. Adam Hendrick is asking, will the track be prepped? And the answer is yes. The track will not be South Georgia,
Radio track.
No Mercy radial crazy prep. That's not going to happen.
He's one of my locals.
Okay. Yes. So Adam, it's going to be your normal deal. It'll be great. Yeah, you're getting it for sure. Let's see. Ooh, yes, Scotty, dude, hit me up, brother, about the I mean, we're only going to be in Baton Rouge. It isn't even far from you. Yes.
And it's Mardi Gras weekend.
It is Mardi Gras weekend, for the love of God, dude. And if you bring the margarita machine, I'll provide the stuff to blend in. Okay? I'm just saying. So Rebel Driver's Garage is asking if one of the cruise spots or stops is at a genuine Louisiana shrimp boil place, and maybe not, but who cares? There's 8 million of them that are great all around. You can go to dinner. It'll be great.
Even if it's not a checkpoint, we'll make sure there's one on one of the routes.
Yes, exactly. 100%. Taylor Dean, this is a great question and one I hadn't gotten to yet. Can we enter more than one class? You can. And here's the only thing about that. When you go to enter for 2 classes, it won't let you. Like, the system won't let you enter twice immediately, right? So after you do your first entry, then it'll send me a message, and then also send me a message on the email address, which is thehotlapchallenge@gmail.com. So, and that's on Bang Shift on the site. When we're done here tonight, within 10 minutes of being done here tonight, you will be able to go to bangshift.com on the front page and see a big banner on the front, like right in front of your face under the big picture, that will be a Hot Lap Challenge button. And it's a giant banner ad. And so you'll be able to go there and read all the rules, or you can check them out in the previous Facebook posts and all that right now. But the email address is in there, and the link to register are both in there. But again, it's thehotlapchallenge@gmail.com. So if you email me there after you've done your first entry, then I will make the system accept your second entry, and you can go in and do that one. But we would love it if you double enter. And for folks that, this is especially important for Rodney Reeves' next comment, which, Rodney, I love you right now, dude, which is our next class, which is Junior Street. So again, we have small tire, NA and power adder, big tire, NA and power adder, unlimited, Time Bandit, which is set your own index, tailgate, which is set your own index, and Junior Street, which is also set your own index. So yes, we are doing Junior Street. That's 13 to 16 years old. You have 6 weeks. There is a licensing process for Junior Street. It is not difficult to do. If you look it up on NHRA.com, they have all of the information there. I don't know, does WDRA have it on their website too?
All 3 sanctioning bodies have one, and I will accept a license from all 3 sanctioning bodies. So just because we're WDRA, bring me an NHRA one, bring me an IHRA one, bring me a WDRA one.
Perfect. So if you go to any of those sanctioning bodies, you can look. If you're local to State Capitol, and you're a local and you're going to race with us, dude, call the racetrack or hit up Cody on the Facebook page, and tell him that you want to get your kid license, and you can come out on one of the Friday nights or whatever and get them licensed. It's not difficult. And we want them to make as many runs as they can to get their license and have fun and be a part of this. So Junior Street is its own separate entry. The one thing that I forgot to do on Junior Street is to make a note that if you are a parent that is coming with your kid, because we have to have a parent or guardian with the kid to run Junior Street, like you don't have to be entered in another class, but you can be. So if you're in one class, the kid can run in the other class. That's totally fine. And we will look at if parents are driving in other classes, we will look at that when we determine the run order so that we can try and get the classes away from Junior Street so that the Junior Street duos aren't running mad trying to get back to the staging lanes and all that stuff.
Got a couple questions, Chad.
Yes.
While we're on Junior Street. So if I'm entered in Time Bandit,
yep,
and my kid is entered in Junior Street,
yep,
in two different vehicles, assuming that Junior Street has to still make the cruise with a parent driving because a 13-year-old cannot drive on the highway.
Yes.
Does it matter who makes the cruise in the Junior Street car as long as it makes the cruise?
So no. So here's the deal on that. If you are, so that's an unusual scenario, but I'm glad you asked this. So the normal would be that, mom or dad shows up with the kid and they are both driving the same car, right? But that's not always the case. So if the kid is not a licensed driver, a state licensed driver,
and the reason I ask you that is to not cut you off. You cannot get a Junior Street license if you have a state driver's license.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. You can be 16, but you cannot be driver's license. That's right. So here's the deal. If you are driving a different vehicle, if you have entered your, in this case, let's say Aaron brings his Camaro to race himself and he brings his kid and a S10 for them to drive. That's awesome. We love that. But how is the kid's car going to get to do the cruise, right? So here's the thing. If you have friends that are going to be there with you or what have you that have come along, you can have, if they're a licensed driver and everything, you can have them drive it on the cruise. Okay. So we're not worried about that. We just need to know that that's happening, right? Because we need everybody to sign the waivers and all of those things. So that's the only reason why. Now, if the kid has a permit, okay, I don't know how the law is in, Louisiana versus Texas, but here, if your kid's 15 and a half and they have a permit, you can let them drive all the time and you just ride shotgun with them. We're totally good with that because the road portion of this thing is your deal, right? So once you leave the racetrack, we give you the route and the checkpoints, and how long it takes you, how fast you go, how many burnouts you do, any of those things is on you guys, not us. Okay.
I'll look in the state law for that because it's been a long time since I've been 15.
Yeah.
I got a question. So for your Junior Street, say dad rides with child during racing, can mom drive child for the drive?
Totally okay.
Okay.
Totally okay. Absolutely. Yeah, that's no problem. And here's the other part of that. If you so Ryan, who's normally our co-host on here, he's bringing Jake, and Jake is only 13. So he's bringing Jake and Jake's going to drive in Junior Street. Ryan at this point is not planning to compete himself. He's just going for Jake. So, so he's not even going to be a racer. He's just going to be the co-pilot, quote unquote. But he'll do the driving on the road. If, however, if mom and dad both came, mom could be the co-pilot and dad could be the one that rides with them going down the racetrack or vice versa. That's totally okay. So Doug DeLay is talking about track manager makes a pass as the passenger for the first pass. Depends on the sanctioning body. But yes, the fastest that Junior Street can go is 9.0 in the 8th mile. It is an 8th mile only category. It will be our only 8th mile category. And it is 9.0 is the quickest you can run. So all of the Junior Street rules and Junior Street licensing, will fall in. So if you are a Junior Street racer, you know these things. If you want to be a Junior Street racer, which again is for any kid 13 to 16 years old that does not currently have a driver's license, you can look up all the information and Cody can help you get licensed. And again, you can do it in one day. It's not a big deal. It doesn't take, weeks and weeks and weeks. So definitely a good deal.
And here, and I'll throw this out here, Chad. I'll talk to my sanctioning body
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if okay with it, I'll license them here.
You broke up right at the wrong time there,
Sorry.
Cody. Say that again.
I said, if it's okay with you, I'll license them here at the event.
Oh,
so
which
they can make their 6 passes for their license, and then they can still make their 7th pass to turn in. Assuming everybody gets 7 kids.
Absolutely. And if we have people, and I'm glad you brought that up. We do this normally on Rocky Mountain Race Week. We'll work on the schedule for this. But if you need to get licensed in order to be okay to drive the car that you're, planning to bring, let me know that. If we have enough people that need to get licensed and can't do it until the event, then let us know because we'll probably do like a licensing lane so that we can get you guys some runs quick. So you can get your license so you can get the ones that count. Okay. So email me on that.
And I'm just, I know I'm getting ahead of myself.
No.
Throwing this out here. So with us being a WDRA racetrack, if you have a NHRA license, IHRA license, or WDRA license, you are good.
Yes.
If you have a NHRA license, the NHRA chassis cert, IHRA chassis cert, WDRA chassis cert, you are good. I can give you a WDRA license at the event. NHRA does not accept a WDRA if you have to go somewhere else for another race week. But to get you through the event, if you cannot get your NHRA license, I can get you a WDRA license. Also, by the time the event rolls around, I wasn't IHRA, but now that we're WDRA, I got to switch over. I should be able to give you a WDRA chassis cert at the event if you need one. Once again, NHRA will not accept it if you go to an NHRA track, but to get you through the event, if you have to have it, I can get you a chassis cert at the event.
Now, here's the other thing real quick, Aaron. If you need a chassis cert or licensing, email me because that way we can make a list because it might be one of those deals where if there are enough people that need chassis certs, we might do them Thursday night instead of worrying about them Friday morning or something like that to make it convenient for you guys.
I'll do them Thursday night. I'll do them Thursday night regardless if they're here Thursday night. You know me, I stay 5 minutes from the racetrack. So
exactly.
It doesn't matter if they pull in at 11 p.m. or 3 a.m. If they need a chassis cert, we'll get it done.
Perfect. Awesome. Aaron, what were you gonna say?
So Cody, you said that NHRA will not recognize it. Will IHRA recognize?
IHRA will recognize WDRA or NHRA. At least when I worked for IHRA, it would. I have not talked to anybody under new ownership. Chad, me and Chad go back on that deal.
Yeah.
When I worked for IHRA, we would accept NHRA and WDRA. Under new ownership, I'm not sure if that's still the case. But on WDRA, I can accept all 3.
So in other words, if you're coming to this racetrack at State Capitol, regardless of the sanctioning body, you're good. As long as you have what you need, whether it came from NHRA or IHRA or WDRA, you're all set. So
correct.
I'm gonna do a screen grab here instead for this one. I should have done this already so that you guys could take a look, but here we go. All right, so here's all our class rules and stuff. I know you guys can't read all of those because they're, it's little, but I still want to make sure we go through everything that's on here because I just want everybody to get all the info they need. So I'm just going to read through this real quick. Important top one. If you are interested in being a sponsor of this event or a class or anything else with us, email me either chat@bangshift.com or thehotlapchallenge@gmail.com. And I'll get you situated. If you know somebody else that you think might be interested, tell them the same thing.
And even if you don't want to do a class, me and Chad are working on some specialty things that you can ask us about possibly sponsoring.
Right. Yes, like best appearing car and those kinds of things. You know what I mean?
And some other cool stuff that we're not going to say on here just yet.
Right.
You can call Chad personally, or if you know me, you can call me personally.
Yep.
And we'll give you a little bit of the DL and let you know what's going on.
Yeah, again, we're trying to do some special things here. And so we really want this to be, something cool. And we're definitely going to make some neat stuff here. So we can't wait. So this is the inaugural Louisiana Drag and Drive Hot Lap Challenge. Again, it's February 28th to March 2nd, 2025. It's at State Capitol Raceway in Port Allen, Louisiana, which is just outside of Baton Rouge. For those of you that aren't familiar with the area, when we've stayed at the racetrack, the last 2 times I've been there, I stayed in the western side of Baton Rouge. Nice area, restaurants, lots of hotels at every price point. There are also motels to the west of the racetrack, but not nearly as many. But there's lots of services around. So you're not out in the middle of nowhere at all. What is it, 10 minutes into town?
No more than 15.
Yeah. One other thing, Chad. A lot of people overlook RV. I think it's RVshare.com, where you can book RVs, have them delivered to the tracks. They have RV hookups there. They'll deliver them and pick them back up, and you basically rent somebody's RV for the event. So you have a place to stay there at the track that's fully amenity too. And it's typically you can get them for cheaper than a night stay at a hotel.
Most of the time, that is absolutely true. I wasn't even thinking about it, dude. So that's a really good point. Also, if you're coming with a big group of people that need more than one hotel room, you can also look at Airbnbs and all of those things. We want, and don't forget, we are letting you pit out of your trailer. So if you just want to come and camp in your enclosed, car trailer, you can do that as well. Cody, are there showers or anything at the racetrack? I didn't think so, right?
We do not have showers at the racetrack, no, sir.
Okay. But there are bathroom facilities, so you guys will have bathrooms there. That's all fine. So this is a 3-day drag and drive. It's going to feature a daily drive and daily racing. But all 3 days, again, are going to be held at State Capitol. The drives are going to be reasonable, but we'll make sure that you show that your car really is a street car. Like all drag and drives, here's the other rule stuff that I've been asked. You can pull a trailer if you choose. So if you want to bring what everybody calls a drag week trailer or a race week trailer or whatever, you can. The only rule on that is that it is a single axle, and it can be open or enclosed. Either way, I'm not going to get picky on the size. Okay. I don't want people to have to build drag and drive trailers if this is their first time or whatever. So whatever you rent or whatever you own or whatever already that you want to pull behind your car, single axle is all that matters. Here is the one stipulation, and this is not for you newbies unless you're sneaky like me, but this is for some of you sneaky veteran bastards out there. No connections between the trailer and the race vehicle are allowed that provide fuel, cooling, electrical, or other support while driving. So Electrical, I understand you have to have a connection for lights and such. What we're talking about is that you can't have like, 6 batteries in the trailer and a aught gauge cable going to the car because you've got this wee little bitty alternator on that thing and it doesn't have enough, right, to handle it. See what I'm saying? So the trailer cannot offer any support to the vehicle while it's operating, while it's going down the road. Okay. But you can carry all your spares, all your tools, fuel, any of those things there as well. Now, here's another key deal to the trailer. If you are running E85, or if you're crazy and you're running race gas, on the road, you're required to find out where E85 is or isn't sold and all those things. On Rocky Mountain Race Week, we allow people to bring their own fuel, like drums of fuel. We also allow for somebody to haul that fuel for you on the route for you to fill up with it. But there's one major caveat to that. So you can't just pull over anywhere on the side of the road and have somebody pull up with their truck and fill you up, right? You have to still go to a gas station and fill it up at the gas station. And so that is so that it's no different than anybody pulling up to that gas station and filling their junk up with 91 or 87 or 89 or whatever. You just happen to be pumping it out of a barrel instead of out of the gas pump. And I'm totally good with that. All right.
And Chad, while we're on fuel,
Yep.
So I do have Sunoco 112, 114, 116 here.
Perfect.
I do have Sunoco E85R, which is the 98 octane.
Yep.
If anybody is coming to this event that does not want to carry your own fuel from wherever you're coming to here because it weighs and you don't want to wait in the trailer, get with Chad, put in your order. I will get it ordered. It will be here for you at the racetrack by the drum or by the gallon, however you want it.
Yeah. So if you want to order it by the pail or you need a whole 55-gallon drum or whatever, you can get fuel at the racetrack and not have to haul it from home. So that's a big
bring
deal.
your cans. I don't bring your cans. I don't do pails.
Oh, you don't do pails.
Cans,
okay.
But I can pump it out of a drum if you don't want to buy a whole drum, or I can sell you a whole drum.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good. I
have 2 questions.
Yes.
So say that you have your dinky alternator and you have a charging issue. Can you fire up your EU 2000 Honda generator and your battery charger and have that assist you to get down the road?
You're saying this because I've done that to finish Dragon Drive, and you know that. Yes, you can, but that generator and battery charger cannot be in the trailer. You will have to put them on the car. So if you're in a truck, you can put it in the bed of the truck. If you're in a car, you need to mount it to the deck lid or whatever. It cannot be in the trailer while it's running and charging in order to get you down the road.
Question number 2.
Can I mount it in the trunk and never close the trunk?
Yes. No, that's on you. Yeah, I got no. I mean, you better make sure it's venting good because we don't want anybody dying from carbon monoxide. That's on you. That's you on the road is a you on the road thing.
Before I get to my second question, Chad, do you remember Jeg Coughlin's wagon with the generator and all that stuff in the back of it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was
Jeg,
self-contained.
Oh, dude, Jeggy has Jeg Coughlin Jr., pro stock driver, et cetera. Jeggy owns a 66 or 7 Nova or Chevy 2-station wagon. It's awesome. And that's what Aaron's talking about. And it has the generator, the charger, all the things in it. It also has a full boogie stereo system in it. And he is very well known for blasting Nickelback while coming down the return road. So,
or the staging lanes in Vegas.
Yes, exactly.
But second question. So you cannot refuel on the side of the road. What if you're a dumbass and run out of fuel on the side of the road?
You can refuel on the side of the road if you are carrying your own fuel in your vehicle or in your trailer, but you can't refuel on the side of the road if you're filling from a drum of E85 that you have your buddy hauling in the pickup truck.
So if you miscalculate your mileage and you run on the side of the road, you're pushing that to a gas station.
Correct.
Okay.
Which is in my opinion, here's two things on the E85 subject, right? So Rodney Reeves is right. E85 is scarce in the boot. Okay. But here, which means Louisiana. Here's the other deal though. If you have a car that runs on E85, and I do, so I'm speaking from experience. If you do not have an 87 octane tune and you're going on drag and drives, you're doing it wrong. And when I say that, I'm not saying that to bag on anybody that's new. I tell veterans who still don't have an 87 octane tune this all the time. Just put an 87 octane tune in it. If you want to know the reality, Larry Larson, Bailey, Lutz, all McGilton, all of the heavy hitters, okay, all run on 87 octane going down the road. All of them. Okay. When Larry and I built the S10, never had a drop of anything but 87 octane in that thing until we went down the racetrack when we were running on methanol, which was in a completely separate tank. So 87 octane is totally fine in anything as long as you're not acting a fool to go driving down the road. Like as long as you're not on big boost or any of that or spraying the hell out of it on the street, then it's fine. So I would recommend you get an 87 too. If you don't, and you're like, nope, I'm running on E85, I would suggest that even if you do have a buddy with a drum that's following along, that you have, a couple of 5-gallon jugs on your trailer or in the, rack on the back or in your pickup bed or trunk or whatever it is, wherever an appropriate storage place. You should definitely have enough to splash it and get the next, few miles. But Doug has a great question. Can we call AAA for fuel? No. Okay. Now, fellow racers can help you on the road. Cajun Cruisers, which we haven't talked about yet, can also help you on the road. Okay. They can help you on the road. Strangers can help you on the road. Okay. But calling AAA would fall under the getting a tow and all that. Although I wonder, AAA does do like the splash of gas deal. Here's the reason I say this, Doug. You are not allowed to get towed at all unless you are somewhere that is not safe. And so it is to get you safely off the road. And that is actually important because in Louisiana, as a bunch of you well know, there are a bunch of elevated roads. Okay. Long bridges over the swamp. Okay. In Louisiana, they're called the bayou, right? So they are, a lot of them don't have very much shoulder, right? So in that scenario, if you're dead and that thing is not running and you need to get it off of the road, we're good to get it off the bridge and over off under the shoulder or around a corner or what have you. That's the only time you're allowed to tow a vehicle, okay, is to get it to safety. So
I got a couple things, Chad.
Yes.
Going to the E85 deal.
Yeah.
There is several gas stations depending on what route we send them on. Most of the racetrack brand gas stations here have E85 at the pump now.
Oh, that's right. Racetrack does have them. That's right.
Or once again, you can get it from me by the drum or the gallon at the racetrack.
Right.
There is somebody on your live that has chimed in about 30 minutes ago. I'm just seeing it. But it is Jim Hughes from Tucson Dragway.
Oh, I saw Jim. Yes.
I saw Jim.
Jim is my dude. I love
Jim,
Jim Hughes. Jim, I'm going to see you in like a couple months too. So
well,
after this,
we're gonna see Jim in 6 weeks here because if he comes meet Palmer here, I'm gonna make sure
oh,
he has jambalaya and pasta la.
oh, 100%. Jim is great people. And if you guys are if you guys are West Coast guys and you're just watching, Western States guys, go to Tucson Dragway. I'll be there for the West Coast bracket races, Southwest Showdown in March,
Me
which
too.
is going to be really fun. Yeah, Aaron's going to be there. It's a cool event. It's a big money bracket race. It's great, but they hold lots of cool events there, including they just had the Hangover Nationals, which is pretty neat, after New Year's, which is fun. So yeah, Jim Hughes, love you, dude, for sure. Yeah, he's like crawfish, baby.
Come
Dude.
on, if you make the trip, I'll make it happen, Jim.
Adam Hendrick is asking, can we put gas in the back seat? You do you, dude. We are not going to tell you what is or isn't safe for you to do in your
Not on the
car
track. Just
on
not
the
track.
road. Yeah, because that's not our responsibility. But yeah, not on the racetrack. You may not have fuel in the back seat. Okay, so we've covered trailer, we covered all those things. Checkpoints. Obviously, you won't know what those are or what the routes are until the day you get sent on those routes. But the way that checkpoints work, there'll be 2 or 3 checkpoints each route. There will be a thing, right? Let's say it was a giant crawfish, right, on a sign or something. If we made that a checkpoint, we will give you a sample picture of it, and then you will have to recreate, quote unquote, that picture. And it doesn't matter exact if there's a half dozen cars at the checkpoint at the same time. All we care about is your car with that sign in the background, so we can clearly tell it's your car, either because the number is very visible or because you're in the only pink Chevy 2 in Louisiana, whatever it is, right? So, and then you'll turn those pictures in, you'll show them from your cell phone to the girls when you turn in your time slip, and that'll prove that you did it. So let's see here. Co-pilots with valid driver's licenses can help drive the route and obviously work on the car. So the guy who's racing the car doesn't have to drive it all the time. You can trade off driving if you want to. That's absolutely fine. And the co-pilot is your partner in crime as far as working on the car. When you are at the racetrack, the driver and the co-pilot are responsible for their own car. Okay. If somebody has some repair needed and something crazy and everybody's jumping in to help, we'll look at that as case by case. But generically speaking, we want you to focus on maintaining your own car when you're at the racetrack. When you are once we start running, I should say. Once we start running for the day until we stop running for the day, you and your co-pilot or co-pilots, are responsible for your own car. If you blow something up and you need help all night thrashing to put a motor in that thing, I'm your huckleberry, and so are a bunch of other people, and that's totally okay. So, Doug DeLay asks how long the drives are going to be. They'll be a few hours, probably somewhere in the 150 mile range.
Maybe a little longer, just depending on what route we send them.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not gonna be 400 or 500 mile days.
No, not at all. Not at all. We're trying to make it very enjoyable for you guys, so they will not be crazy distance. Okay, so
I got a question.
Absolutely.
So the driver and co-pilot are responsible for the car and everything else. What about vendor/sponsors helping with drivers?
So here's the thing. If you have a problem and you break whatever, right? Let's say you broke a ring and pinion, right? Because for those of you that don't know, Aaron owns Texas Precision Performance, one of, if not the finest third member assembly and setup companies in the country. So if you had a rear end problem, right, your 9-inch is junk, it ate up a ring gear, and you get that thing out and you go over to Aaron, let's just say he's there, and go, oh my God, help, right? Aaron can help you with parts, and he can help by assembling that part, and then you can put it back in your car. That's okay. That's no different than if you had to leave the racetrack to go buy a part off site. If there is a vendor there that can help you with that, or if a fellow competitor has a part that you need and they are willing to give it to you, that's okay as well. We just want you and the co-pilot within reason to do the work on the car itself. Here's the object of that. The object of that is so that we don't have, for example, let's say me and Aaron go, okay, and we're running an unlimited car, but we're not capable of doing all the work and the maintenance on that car ourselves. So we end up having to get help every day from other people. That's not okay, because you showed up in a car you're not capable of. So you're not winning because you're good. You're winning because you had a whole crew of people to help. Now, I said co-pilots earlier, right? If you have a vehicle that will haul more than one passenger and driver, fill that bastard up. We don't care. If you have 5 people in the car on the routes doing the whole thing with you, those 5 people can work on the car.
Okay, let me ask you this, Chad.
Yeah.
Because this is a little different from most dragon jobs that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
With all 3 days being at the same racetrack, and now you got because we're not traveling 5 states.
Right.
We're in one state, make a vacation out of it for the family, and your mom, dad, uncle, aunt, 2 grandfathers, and your cousin all decide to come along.
Yep.
Can they all help while they're at the racetrack?
No. So we, like, in that scenario, here's what we would prefer that they do, so they get the full experience. So if you and me were, or you and your better half were, doing it in your car, doing the drag and drive in your car, and then you had family that wanted to come and follow along, that family should enter as a Cajun Cruiser. Okay. Cajun Cruiser is like Road Weekers on the Rocky Mountain events, or Sick Ward on the Sick Week events. And that is that you're just cruising along and having fun with everybody. So here's the rules with regards to Cajun Cruisers. So with your Cajun Cruiser registration, which is way less than half of the race registration price, you get entry into the track all 3 days for the driver and up to 3 passengers. Okay. If you want to do extra passengers, we'll sell you single or weekend tickets. It's fine. You can still do it. We're going to have a special Cajun Cruisers parking area. We get an event t-shirt for the driver and the 3 passengers in the vehicle. You get a windshield banner. You get the sponsor stickers. You get the participant goodie bag and anything that's in there, as well as unlimited fun and as many free smiles as you can handle. Okay. As well as drinks and snacks that we're going to have at the racetrack, so that you have water to drink and that kind of stuff. You get to drive the routes with everybody else. You get to be a part of the whole spectacle that's going on, the checkpoints, everything. We have not officially announced this yet, because we haven't announced what all our awards are, and we're not going to. We're going to make that be a surprise for a lot of you. But it would, if you are coming on as a Cajun Cruiser and you are, let's say, a ex-sorority girl or anything like that, where you like decorating stuff up and, being the cheerleader and what have you, we may give like the best spirit award for the Cajun Cruisers out, right? Like, so it might be in your best interest to make sure you're having fun. We may do a spirit award or a best attitude or whatever for the Cajun Cruisers. So keep that in mind. The other thing that the Cajun Cruisers get to do, if you show up on Friday morning early or Thursday afternoon, or Thursday evening, if you would like to take your car down the drag strip and you are a Cajun Cruiser, then we will send you through tech. And we will send you through tech so that if we have time, we will call our Cajun Cruisers to the lanes and give you a run down the racetrack during the weekend. I don't see any reason why, unless we have a million cars, that we wouldn't be able to give you guys at least one hit for the weekend. You won't be in the competition, but you'd still be able to have bragging rights that your, minivan runs 13 O's or whatever, right? So if you would want to be able to go down the racetrack, you do need to go through tech so we can mark that off and you'll be good to go. And you do need to bring a helmet, and no passengers are not allowed in any car at any point going down the racetrack except for Junior Street.
And I do have helmet rentals here.
Great. Aaron.
That real simple. I don't have, like, 50 of you do not leave your helmets at home, please.
Right.
But if it is somebody new that, doesn't, because different tracks have different rules, different sanctioning bodies have different rules. Chad is stipulating that he wants everybody to have a helmet. Yep. I do have probably 2 handfuls of helmets. They are $5 a day, and I get a copy of your driver's license so that I get my helmet.
And also, if you'd be interested in buying a new helmet, I am going to be working on a deal with Holly. They have a variety of brands of safety equipment, RaceQuip and Simpson, to see if we can get a special pricing on on a helmet for new people that want to buy their own helmet. So either way, we can make sure you guys get taken care of. Aaron?
What about engine diapers?
So I do not have engine diapers on as a current rule. Okay. But I was thinking about it today. And if you've got an opinion and you're in the chat right now, put it in. But there is a part of me that is wanting to require it, for any car that runs, 950 or slower or something. But Cody and I have not talked about that yet. Do you have any opinion on it?
I think anything with a power adder should have an engine diaper, period.
I like that. What do you think, Cody?
I could agree with that. However, with us trying to make this a quote unquote event for some newbies, I don't want somebody with a Dodge Challenger that's got a baby blower on it that's never been to a racetrack before.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that's the interest I'm getting here is a bunch of locals that have, because let's face it, Rocky Mountain Road Week last year, last year, we're in 25 now. Yeah. That was the first one that's ever been through here because these guys cannot take 5 days off of work. They cannot, it's just not feasible. So the locals have seemed really excited about it. And with it possibly being a quote unquote newbie event, which we want the veterans here also. But I think we're gonna get a bunch of guys that may have possibly never been down a racetrack before.
Yeah.
Also, I would say anything with a power adder, and if it is in a sanctioning body rule book that you're supposed to have a diaper on your vehicle, then you need to have it.
Right.
Per the ET.
Right.
Okay. That's fair.
Yep. So if the ET rule says you got to have it, you got to have it, but otherwise, no.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
That's what we're saying.
Perfect. Okay. I'm good with that. Then that goes with what I have in the rules, in the general rules, as whatever safety equipment is required for your ET, you got to have. So that'll work. Now, Adam Hendrick is asking, Cody, will I need one?
I'm calling.
There you go. Here's the other thing, though, to address Cody's question about the family coming along. So Cajun Cruisers can help any one hot lap challenge competitor. So Cajun Cruisers can help any one racer during the event one time. You may not follow along as a support vehicle, however. But if you've got the family and the Suburban following, you and your lady in the Camaro or whatever, and they're following along to have fun, they don't need to like go 5 miles ahead or 5 miles back or whatever. Everybody can cruise together. That's fine, right? But remember, it's 2024 and everybody is videoing and everybody's taking photos.
It's actually 2025.
Oh yeah, 2025. Shit. See, I'm all behind. If you, God, I wish it was still 2024. Really, right now, I'm just telling you. If you're doing something wrong, somebody's gonna get a picture of it, right? So follow the rules. Like that's, and they're not. I mean, we're not being, mean and nasty about it. I won't yell at you about any of it. No, nothing. But we want you to have a great time. So we don't want to do anything to preclude you from that, but don't ruin anybody else's good time by cheating either. You see what I mean? So if you want to have fun, everybody else does too, and we'll make sure you get to. And speaking of that, we have a bonus event, okay? And that is the Saturday Bottom Bulb Bash. And if you do not know what bottom bulb racing is, that's okay. If you are a drag and drive competitor, you can enter the Bottom Bulb Bash. You do not have to. It is a completely separate event that is happening at the same time on Saturday. And bottom bulb means no electronics. So a trans brake is allowed, but no delay box. So you may not have a delay box or a throttle stop. But otherwise, whatever you got is totally fine. Again, just no delay box, no throttle stop. And it's is it a 5/10 sportsmanship or 4/10?
It's a 5/10 sportsmanship. I'll hit on this a little bit, Chad, because you know this.
Yeah, please. Yeah, exactly.
So we had some racers that wanted to come out and race this event, but they do not have street cars. Especially with it being Mardi Gras weekend. One of my local racers owns the Great Harvest Bakery out of Lafayette. So he wanted to put a deal together. I talked with Chad. It's going to be a bottom bulb bracket race. It is a dial your own bracket race. You can change your dial in from race to race, round to round. If you want to put 617 on it this round and 627 on it next round, you can. There's no rule against that. It is handicap start. Breakout rule does exist. For example, if you put 620 on the window and you go 619, you lose. We will actually see real race cars in this portion. It will be 8th mile. The track will handle, of course, for the drag and drives, you'll already be through tech with Chad's department. The track will handle the tech on the bottom bulb portion of it. It is $40 entry. We do what's called a buyback. If you lose first or second round, not first and, but if you lose first or second round, I
tried to make it so it was first and second, but Cody told me no.
No, we're gonna do first or second round. You can pay $25. You get back in the race for the next round of competition. Hopefully you win again. If you lose, you're out. It is $2,000 guaranteed total purse. Y'all split it whenever y'all want. Winner take all, doesn't matter to me. It's $2,000 guaranteed, courtesy of the Great Harvest Bakery. We do have some locals that are going to run the bottom bulb bash with their race cars and do the drag and drive in their street cars,
which is awesome.
But if you want to do both, you're welcome to do both. You can still go cruise after the bracket race will be in conjunction with the drag and drive, but we will probably finish the drag and drive portion before the bracket race part. Like Chad said earlier, you make one hit, you want to go get on the cruise, get back, you can jump in the bracket deal. If you want to run the bracket deal, you can go run the cruise after the bracket deal, come back. I'm gonna throw a rule in here, Chad, man, you talked about earlier, but while we're on this topic. If you do get in the bracket portion of the event, the bottom ball bash portion of the event, with the same car that you are running in the drag and drive, you cannot turn in a time slip from the bracket event portion as your drag and drive time slip. Because if Chad goes, hey, I'm not a bracket racer, I don't want to do it. I want to go get on the cruise. I want to go eat. I want to go to bed. And Aaron goes, hey, I want to do it. Well, Aaron's going to possibly get 5 to 7 more hits just because he chose to do it, depending on how far he goes in the race.
Right.
So we're not going to allow that. If you are in the same vehicle for the bottom ball bash and the drag and drive, you cannot turn a time slip in from the bracket race portion as your drag and drive time slip. Time slips will be labeled by classes. We will be able to tell.
Yes. That is the key. And what does the winner get of the bottom bowl bash?
Well, it's $2,000 if they don't split it at any point in time.
Right.
Which bracket racers they've been known to split, make sure semis, quarters, whatever gets a piece of the pie.
Right.
It doesn't have to happen if everybody doesn't agree to it, but it probably will happen.
You want to go to Dairy Queen?
What'd you say, Aaron?
I said, if you want to split, go to Dairy Queen.
We don't have one of those here, so that option's not available.
What you do have in Louisiana that are awesome are daiquiri shops.
Yes, and I have one right up the racetrack. So, like, when you get done with your cruise,
yes,
of course we don't condone drinking and driving.
No.
Go to Sandy's Daiquiris. It is literally 1 mile from the racetrack. Go through the drive-through, get you a margarita. They put a piece of tape on it. As long as the tape is over the lid, if you get pulled over, it's not an open container. They'll give you a straw with it. Do not stick the straw in the hole because then it becomes an open container.
Correct.
Bring it back to the racetrack and have you a margarita and chill out.
Light a bonfire and drink your margarita and enjoy your evening and camp out.
Yep.
I love it.
You know what else you know what else we have this time of year, Chad? Do you want to hit on this? It's a sweet. We mentioned the Great Harvest Bakery.
Yeah, king cakes.
And we will make sure that the winners of each class gets one.
Yep. Yeah, we are not going to tell you everything you win, but that's one of the things that we are going to tell you because, it is, after all, called the Saturday King Cake Bottom Bowl Bash. So king cakes will be at the racetrack. So if you don't know what that is, check it out. You're going to want to know. We have lots of other cool little elements that are different that you're not going to see at other drag and drives. But it's the normal drag and drive format in general. And it gives everybody a great chance to go out and have fun and race their cars. And, we're really hoping that everybody, is as excited about this as we are. I do want to talk about, I have 4 other classes that we put in that are possibilities if we had enough interest. And these were classes that people also expressed some interest in before. One of them is a hard tire class, which is 300 treadwear or higher, and 275 or smaller. If you have a group of hard tire racers that would like to have their own class, let me know and we would do that. A big wheel class, which would be 22 inch wheel or larger. And that would be an 1/8 mile race instead. It's stick shift, which would be no clutchless transmissions, no planetaries like Alenco or Bruno or Jeffco, clutch assisted shifts only, and then a gasser class, which, I put that this is a class for traditional style gassers. If you have to ask whether yours is a traditional style gasser, then it probably isn't. Send in a photo of your car via the email address below, and I will approve or not approve for a gasser class. It needs to have nose high stance or be lifted all the way around, OG wheels and all that kind of stuff. Those 4 classes are just classes that people have expressed some interest in, but I'm not sure if we'll have enough to really put together full classes. So if any of those are of interest to you, you can find those all on bankshift.com and you'll be able to check those out. If you click the link on the Facebook page, that link will get you right over to the rules and registration page. I'm going to put a link on the front page of Bang Shift within a few minutes of us, ending the podcast, so that you can click on it there as well. So,
Right.
uh,
But
it'll be good.
if we do not have enough interest in those classes, I have some other things, Chad, I want to hit on before we sign off.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
If we do not have enough interest in all of those classes, with the exception of Big Wheel, because Big Wheel is 8th mile, the other 3 classes, if you sign up for hard tire or stick shift or gashes, and we get here and we go, yeah, there's not enough, you can still run Time Bandit at a minimum.
Absolutely. Yes. Or small tire, big tire, whatever you fit in, you'll be able to run any of the rest of the classes that you fit in. Absolutely.
Okay. So
Yeah.
another thing I want to hit on,
Yep.
because we didn't discuss this for ruling, so we're going to discuss it now. The reason we are stopping at 4:30 on Friday is because State Capitol Raceway is going to have its normal Friday night test and tune and gamblers race for the bracket cars on Friday night.
Right.
So let's say I break in the middle of the Dragon Drive and I get it fixed. Can I buy a tech car from State Capitol Raceway Friday night to see if it's fixed before I go on the cruise?
Yes.
Okay.
So the example there is, yeah, you're running in whatever drag and drive class, you break your junk at 2 p.m, you thrash on it and thrash on it and thrash on it. They're now running a test and tune at the racetrack, and you go, crap, should we hit the road, or do we need to make a couple of hits to make sure this thing's okay while we have a racetrack here? There is no requirement for you of when you have to make that cruise, as long as it is before the next day's racing. So as long as you still make the cruise later that night, you can absolutely make some hits at the test and tune. They won't count for anything in the drag and drive, but you absolutely can do them. And if you, let's say your junk was just not running right, and you're like, man, I need more tuning or whatever, you could also do that on Friday night, but you'll have to buy the tech card for that Friday night, test and tune and gamblers. Which, how much is that tech card, Cody?
It is $20.
There you go.
25.
Okay.
Sorry.
25. So if you need that, you have that available. But again, it will not count toward your drag and drive time slips.
Yeah. Just want to make sure we're same page there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Anything else on your list?
RV spots available. They're going to be $150 for the weekend. Whether you have a trailer, motorhome, doesn't matter. It's $150. It comes with 50 amp plugs and water source. If you are coming in a motorhome and you do not want to fill your water tanks up, bring a hose with you. You will be allowed to fill them up at the racetrack.
So people that aren't going to stay in an RV spot could still fill with water.
I don't have a problem with that.
Perfect. Yeah, great.
As long as we don't sell out and they get here before the other ones get here.
Yeah, right.
We'll get them pulled in, filled up, back out.
Yep.
Chad, I'll get you to put a link for your deal with my phone number and my email. If anybody needs fuel, if they want to go ahead pre-order fuel, RV spots. If anybody has any local questions as far as hotels or whatever, you can hit me up. I just think the big thing that we're hitting on, and once this gets shared into my local groups, the one thing that we're hitting on here is the way we've designed this, especially with Time Bandit, is anybody can do this. It does not matter what you're driving, what it looks like, how fast it is, how slow it is.
Now,
as long as it can make it from point A to point B and at least make one pass down the racetrack a day, Whether you've been down a drag strip before, you've never been to a drag strip, it does
Right.
not matter the way we've designed this.
Exactly. We want you to have fun and enjoy yourselves and get to be a part of it. And that's what matters. TJ Moses has a good question. He said, just to clarify, if you swap tires, do I need to trailer my drag radials on the cruise, or can we leave them at the track? You can leave them at the track. So if you are bringing a trailer to haul your drag and drive car to the event and all that, and you have a pit spot set up and you want to leave them, you are absolutely allowed to do so. I would say that you want to make sure that they are secured, obviously. But yes, you are absolutely welcome to leave them. In fact, here's the thing. We tell you, like, you can bring a trailer and you can do all those things and bring spares and whatever you can haul. If you think, dude, my junk is good, I don't need anything, right? And you want to swap your tires or you're running on the whatever. If you don't take a single tool with you or a single spare, that's all on you, dude. You're totally good. We have no rule for what you must or must not, take on the road with you. That's up to you. The big deal is that if you don't need them because they're your drag radials and you've got your street tires, then heck yeah.
Brings up another question though.
Yeah.
So we're checking for lights and brake lights and tail lights and turn signals and all this other stuff, right?
Yep.
What are we checking for? DOT tires for the trip, for the road trip?
Yeah, so that's a good question. And the tech depends on the event as to whether or not they want you to come to tech with your DOT tires on or your slicks. We do want you to be going down the road with DOT tires because that's legal. But I do not have that in as an item that we are going to check at this point. But I may add that. We want you to be going down the road in tires that are good for that. Now, with that said, I've been a jillion miles across this country on drag radials, and I can tell you, DOT or not, in the rain, they ain't good.
Well, I'm gonna bring this portion up.
Yeah,
it is Mardi Gras. It is a fun time here. However, Monday and Tuesday are state holidays. I know we like to get stupid on the road and do burnouts and all that fun stuff. And this isn't to scare anybody. This is just to make everybody aware.
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday state holidays. So if you do something stupid and you get caught and it's worth getting in a back of a cop car, you probably will not see a judge till Wednesday at the earliest.
Ooh, damn. Okay, I'm going to add that first. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good public service announcement right there.
Yep. That is a really good point. Okay.
But the reason I brought that up, Chad, is because I've traveled through that area in Louisiana before, and like you mentioned, the elevated bridges. Would you try to attempt to go up an elevated bridge on a drag radial or even a slick going? And if you got rain or anything else, you're going to go.
That is true. Especially what's that one in Opelousas that you come up? Isn't that what it is? In Opelousas is the big one. I mean, it's not long, but it's the big arched one.
I can't remember.
I know there's one coming from Houston and Westlake that's pretty arched. The one in Baton Rouge, if we send them through Baton Rouge, is pretty arched.
That is true. Yeah. I'm going to put DOT tires for the road as a requirement, and so that everybody just knows. Let's see. TJ Moses is saying that dictates whether or not I bring my drag and drive trailer, is why he asked about whether he's got to haul them or not. And that's a really good, reason to check. So yeah, you're good. You don't need to haul your drag tires with you because you can leave them at the racetrack.
You can leave everything at the racetrack.
What's the weather like normally that time of year? What kind of temperatures could people expect?
It's not going to be hot, which is why I'm great we're doing it this time of year.
Right.
Rocky Mountain Road week last year was kind of on the warm side, especially with running during the day. It's so unpredictable here. You're not going to see snow.
No.
You could see something as high as 75 and maybe 50s at night. You could see something 60s and 40s, but you're not going to see snow, and it's not going to be 100 degrees.
Right. It should be very moderate and nice. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Aaron.
One thing I think you should add is, because you're providing unlimited access to a trailer, okay? I have a 40-foot trailer. I can pack everything in there.
Right.
But I think in the spirit of this being the everyman drag and drive, the ordinary man drag and drive, is that no engine swaps. You can pound pistons in it. You can do anything else, but no engine swaps.
Right.
Got to maintain the same block.
Yep. And I've been pretty vocal against that rule, historically speaking. But I, I'm with you. I see what you're saying. Like I said, historically, I've been against that for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you blow your junk up and then go to the wrecking yard and get another junkyard LS, I think that's a great story. But my other deal is Hot Rod always had a thing about not being able to swap engines for the drive. Okay, literally is a Hot Rod rule. And I always told Freiberger and them they were complete idiots, because what you want is the guy to show up in a Pro Stocker and pull the motor and trans out of it and put a stock 350 and a turbo 350 in it and make the drive, and have to do that every day of the week. That's gold right there. Like, that's the best Hot Rod Magazine content in history, and it was like, nope, they don't want you to have to do that. So I get that, and that's fine. But yeah, I'll think about that for sure. I'll think about that.
Doug DeLay asked another question, Chad. Is there a best light award?
Yeah.
We'll make something happen for the best light of the weekend for the Drag and Drive deal.
Yeah.
Me and Chad's been pondering around special awards. I know I don't want to give too much away.
No, won't give it away. Yeah.
I'll put this out there. If anyone during the Drag and Drive only competitors, okay?
Yeah.
If any of them make a perfect run in any of their runs, I will give them $500.
Okay. All right.
There it is. Be triple O and dead on your index.
Yep, exactly. So that is only going to be available for
after they establish the index.
For Saturday and Sunday. And that is going to only be for Time Bandit, Tailgate, and Junior Street. And so it'll only be Saturday and Sunday, because you'll have to have turned in your index on day one. So if Saturday or Sunday you run dead on the number and go trip zip on the tree, then dude, $500, that's a cool deal.
First one that does it, right? In case we have 25 people that magically do it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's cool.
But we are working on some other specialty awards. We definitely don't want to hand out participation awards.
No.
But we're working on specialty awards. We want this to be fun. We want this to be an annual thing. This might even be something that me and Chad takes on the road to some other places.
Yeah. And this is the big thing that I'm going to ask of you guys that are watching this now and watch it tomorrow, whatever. Spread the word. Like, the biggest thing that we need right now is as many eyeballs on this as possible. We put this thing together in a very short period of time. We really, really have put a ton of time into getting this to happen in a very short number of days. And we want it to be the best that it can be. It's a first year event. And so the more that you guys help us spread the word that we're doing it, the better. So yeah, we really appreciate it. And everybody that's tuned in tonight and asked questions. Rodney, great questions. TJ, Doug, Adam, everybody, you guys really seriously appreciate all of the time. If you do not know, Drag, Drive, and Repeat is going to have be featuring the show or the race on their show on Wednesday night as well. We will have updates on the Bang Shift website. We also have a group for anybody that enters or is interested in entering. You can look up. Let me make sure I get this right so I'm not lying to you guys. Let's see here.
It is the Drag and Drive Hot Lap Challenge.
Yeah, so the Drag and Drive Hot Lap Challenge is the Facebook page. And then we also have a Facebook group. And the Facebook group is going to be the Hot Lap Challengers. Hot Lap Challengers, not just Hot Lap Challengers. So Hot Lap Challengers is a group that is just for people that are interested in this event or have entered, where everybody can share information and ask questions, and where when it is race day, this will be one of the places that we put up announcements about things for the weekend or for that day. Will be on this page so you can follow it really easily, or on this group, I should say, so you can follow it. Yeah.
And I will also say, if you're interested, go ahead and like and follow the State Capitol Raceway page, because when Chad makes a post, since I run the Facebook page, when Chad makes a post, I will always post it there.
Yep.
That definitely goes for any of my locals that are watching.
And if you're a newbie and you saw this online and you're like, dude, I think I might want to do this, and you have very little experience on the drag strip, that's totally okay. But if you are local to State Capitol, like Cody has Friday night, grudge and test and tune night that is really, really good, and gamblers races and all that. So when are those usually, Cody, and what does it cost to run in them?
Friday nights, we don't kick off until February, just because it is still a little chilly here for nighttime. Yeah. But our Friday nights, it's usually $15 at the gate. Everybody pays a spectator fee, and then $20 for your tech cards, at $35 total. And then for the springtime, it's the same thing on Sundays. We do Sunday Fun Day Test and Tune every Sunday in the spring, every Sunday in the fall. Gates open at 10. We go hot from 11 to 5 for as many passes as you can make or want to make for $35.
Yeah, so you can go out and have some fun and get used to doing it. And if you have never been down the racetrack, or have only been down the racetrack once or twice, and you go to the racetrack for one of these Friday nights or Sundays, and you're gonna do our Drag and Drive, go see Cody. Go talk to him and tell him, look, I'm one of the newbies. Can you give me any advice or whatever? And he'll walk you through the staging process and all those things to make sure that you have the most fun you possibly can. Cody is a good bracket racer in his own right. He may be a promoter, but he's also he can let go of a button. Let me tell
you. Chad, I just got this question sent to me privately. If we double enter, meaning we run tailgate and we run Time Bandit, yeah, $375 per class, no matter what, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So any class is $375. So, and again, that the reason that we say this is it doesn't matter whether you're unlimited, small tire, or Time Bandit, or Junior Street. You paid the same amount as everybody else. You get to get all the runs. You get treated just like everybody else. There is nobody here that is better than anybody else. We want everybody to have fun and feel like they're getting their value. The Cajun Cruisers, that's $175. And again, you get the t-shirts and the windshield banner and all the things. You just are not part of the competition. You're only part of the cruise. So yeah.
But with the classes we have for the drag and drive, the Friday night test and tune, the Saturday bottom bulb challenge, there is something for everybody at this event. You can make unlimited passes this event and not leave 10 minutes from the racetrack.
Yes, 100%.
Other than your cruise time.
Right. And it's, again, you can camp at the racetrack, whether you rent an RV, rent a camp spot, bring your RV, whatever. You can stay in hotels. You can stay in your enclosed trailer. You can stay in a tent, whatever you want. And there's lots of hotels around. And Aaron, yeah?
What about concessions? You serving breakfast in the morning? What are you doing?
We normally don't serve breakfast. I can make something happen for a special event like this. We definitely do have full lunch, dinner menu. It's just your normal concession stuff: hamburger, cheeseburger, fries, corn dogs, chicken tenders. Got fountain drinks, got Powerade.
Gravy would be great.
And it may be.
I didn't hear you.
Some good old biscuits and gravy would be great.
We might.
Well, I might be making that happen. We've got some people that have asked about, other sponsorship opportunities and what have you. And so, we want to make sure the racers get something cool. And so stay tuned for more announcements. That's what I'll say.
But that's what me and Chad was talking about earlier. If you're interested in being a part of this event, but you don't want to be a class sponsor, title sponsor, presenting sponsor, tell us what you're interested in. We will make it happen, whether it's breakfast, dinner, award, whatever. If you want to be a part of it, hit me or Chad up. We will make you a part, or your company a part of it.
Yep, exactly. Because that's the whole deal. I will tell you that, that is Aaron bringing up the Perfect Run Award. He said he'd give 500. That's our second special award. I have another sponsor. We're not announcing it yet, who has already committed yesterday before we even announced the event. He had already committed to putting up some money for the best something of the event. And so, we want to be supportive of the racers. So like Cody said, if you have a company or you're just somebody that wants to be supportive, whatever, and you want to help us out, man, being a sponsor of something that helps the racers is really cool. Anything you can do. This is not cheap to put this event on, but we want to make sure we put on the best show for everybody that's involved, whether you're a racer or a cruiser or a spectator or anything else. There will be a live stream. Obviously, I'll be, that's what we do. So we'll stream the race. If I was smart, I probably wouldn't, but why not bite off even more than we can chew? So we're going to live stream the race. There will be sponsorship opportunities there as well. So, so let us know. Whatever you want to support, we're here. We can do it. And if you have questions on the event or any of the rules or what have you, again, I'm going to have a link up on Bang Shift here shortly, but you can use the one from the Facebook page. And if you don't get an answer by reading through all those rules, hit me up at thehotlapchallenge@gmail.com. Anything else, boys?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good too. Well, folks, I hope you guys learned something that you needed to, take the leap and join us. Please, again, spread the word. The Doug DeLay asked, when is registration open? It's open now. You can sign up immediately. We opened it late last night. So registration is open. If you go to that link on Facebook, it will take you to the site, to the Bang Shift page. On the Bang Shift page are all the rules and giant red words that say click here to register.
Can you do another screen?
Click here to register.
Can you do another screen grab, Chad, just to show everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. So, boom. See the big words that say click here to register? That's a link. So you click here to register, and when you do that, it will open up our registration at livedragracing.com, and you will click register, and it will give you racer and co-pilot, cruiser, etc. And you can register to be a part of this event. So click the button and you guys are good to go. And again, folks, really appreciate you guys. We're going to cut it off here. I still got a lot of work to do tonight, and we're going to handle that stuff. And if you have questions, hit us up, spread the word, and we look forward to seeing you guys at State Capitol. This is going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Aaron said he couldn't come because he's got something else going on that weekend. So that's going to suck for you, but and I know it's your like busiest time of the year as well. So when you're building rear ends for race cars, off season is like, hey, here's 50 million, center sections to build. So yeah.
No, it's we're getting more in every day than we're putting out, put it that way. So that's it's a busy time of year.
Yeah.
There is no off season here. We closed December 14th was our last testing tune, and it was chilly yesterday, and I missed it out. We'll call it that because the water just wouldn't dry. But my first scheduled testing tune was yesterday.
That's
nice.
Awesome. Doug DeLay asked, what if you get a co-pilot after you register? That doesn't matter. We don't need your co-pilot's info on registration. We asked for the shirt size for your co-pilot, take a stab in the dark. But if your co-pilot changes or you get a co-pilot and you didn't have one before, when you get here, just tell us what the shirt size is and we'll make sure they're taken care of. So that doesn't matter. The registration is just the driver. So your co-pilot, whoever you show up with, is good with us.
Is your Camaro good to go, Chad? Is it running?
No, there is no engine in it. I know. Yeah, because you're thinking what I'm thinking, which would be it would be perfect to be cruising with the top down in Louisiana. That thing. Cody doesn't know. I have a '69 Camaro convertible. That's a former NHRA stock eliminator car. And it's basically still set up as a stocker, except it doesn't have a motor in it right now. In fact, it's funny because it has a 700 R4 in it right now from doing a drag and drive with it. But the 700 R4 is ratchet strapped to the front cross member of the car because there's no engine in it. So, hey, whatever. But I look good cruising in that car with the top down, and it would be a fun one to do the cruise in. So we'll see. I have a feeling I'm going to need to bring the truck and the Suburban and all the things with all the things in them down to Louisiana because, oh, by the way, folks, you guys are asking about how far it is. Cody lives 5 minutes from the racetrack. Okay. I do not live 5 minutes from the racetrack. I am about
6.5.
I'm going to say 460 miles would be my guess. Let's see.
I'm 9 hours. I already looked it up. No, because if the motor was in the Camaro, I was like, because my Camaro is sitting at time in race cars right now. So I was like, oh, I'll just stop by and pick it up and drag it over there.
Yeah. I got where you were going, my friend. Don't you worry. Okay, so State Capitol from my house, from my rental house that I'm in is, let's see here.
I think you were 6.5, 7 hours, weren't you?
Oh yeah.
He's about 3 hours from me, so that's about right.
Oh, actually, it's closer than our route was from Ennis because I have a straighter shot. So it's 6 hours and 11 minutes. It's 404 miles.
Yeah, I think it's 6.5 hours from me from here to the Motorplex.
Okay, there you go. See, because from up here, I'm up in Richardson, so I just go straight across 20 and then down 49.
Yep.
So yeah, which by the way, the drives are great. Like everything down here is cool. You'll like it. I can fly there in an hour and 10 minutes. It would just cost me $11 million worth of crap to haul on an airplane. So I don't think we're well, again, appreciate you two for tuning in tonight. and everybody else that joined us this evening. Yeah, Doug DeLay says I'm 28 hours from the track. It's fine. Doug, if I were you and you're going to do this, dude, just fly in and rent a car and do it in a rental car. Seriously. It would be
Should have
just
done a rental class. Should have done a rental class.
I know. Aaron is like all over me to do a rental car class. You don't need to.
Last time somebody I know rented a car at the Motorplex, it was for bracket finals. They got to the semis and the rental car locked it out from the dealership. They figured out what was going on and shut it down.
No way.
Couldn't open the door, couldn't turn the key up, nothing.
Really? Dude,
Never heard.
I have historically done some stuff to rental cars, like a lot of stuff to rental cars. I've never had that happen, but that's wow. That's
well, they weren't cruising. I think especially the EV stuff. It's all computer, and I don't know if it was the EV or not, but somehow like if it was Enterprise, figured out that it was like 8 seconds and they shut it back off.
Right.
And then it start back up for 8 more seconds and they shut it back off. And then
that's awesome.
Yeah. Once they caught wind of it, locked it down. Couldn't open doors, couldn't turn key, nothing.
Yeah.
I know somebody that had a massive burnout in a rental car at the U.S. Nationals parking lot and had a massive crowd around him and never got caught. Not saying any names.
Yeah. I know some people that did get caught, but I also know a lot that haven't.
Taylor's got a good question.
Yeah, Taylor Dean says, do we have to have the same co-pilot for all 3 days or can we swap? So, Taylor, hit me up with this question on the email because I really need to get clarification as to whether you're talking about actually working on the car or just riding. If you want to give, if you have somebody following along that's a Cajun Cruiser and you want to, trade off who's riding with you so they can have some fun on the road, that's totally okay. If you want to trade different people each day of the event, just because, I don't know, I'd have to think about that. But if it's like you got a buddy that can do Friday but can't do Saturday, Sunday, and you got another buddy that can do Saturday but can't do Friday or Sunday, like something like that, we could help figure it out. But we'll need to work on that because we'll have to have wristbands for each one and waivers and that's extra shirts and all those things. So I'm not shutting you down at all. We totally want to help you make that happen. I just need to figure out how to make it happen. So shoot me an email and we'll figure something out. Yes. Chris Eager in the house. Doug says.
Chris Eager.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Christopher Eager in the house. Yeah.
That's trouble right there.
I love it. Dennis Waddle. Let's see. Hey guys, y'all think Memphis Motorsports Park will make a comeback? I guess if you're a billionaire or whatever they are and you want to buy it and redo it, you could. My opinion is they shouldn't, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not in that department to answer that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. So we'll see. All right, folks, we're done. We've been live for 2 hours, and I know that Cody wants to go back home, and Aaron wants to go back home also from the shop. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Again, all the links will be on bangshift.com here within the next 15 minutes. Otherwise, go to the Bangshift Facebook page, click the button. You can look at everything. Please sign up, whether it's Cajun Cruisers or to race. And if you cannot, or even if you are, then spread the word and tell your friends because we would love to have you all here with us February 28th to March 2nd. So again, thank you so much.
I'm going to give a shout out to my buddy, Rodney Fincham, as we're signing off.
Yeah.
Because Ronnie does it on all his videos. If you're watching this video, like and share.
Yeah. Absolutely. Really appreciate you guys.
The subscribe button.
Yes. Hit the subscribe button for sure. But we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Cody? we'll see you, or I'll talk to you tomorrow for sure. Aaron,
10-4.
thank you so much. See you boys later.
See ya.
All right, gang. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, like, subscribe, do all the things. And we'll see you soon. If you have questions, it's thehotlapchallenge@gmail.com.